I could understand the burnout of, you know, when you're one of maybe 25 production companies or post house that are like touching a film. It's not like I think maybe from the outside looking in, if you said you worked on Avengers, I would assume that your company did all of the VFX for Avengers, but I don't think people realize that it's outsourced to like multiple different companies, multiple different people are working on 1 minute here. Maybe there's 10 minutes over here. And that was common for all the jobs that you did. It was just like specific parts.
Yeah, usually. I mean, usually the films have like their main vendors. So like, you know, ILM or whatever, or you know, MPC or the Mill or whatever, or Frame Store will take on like a huge chunk of the movie. And then, you know, specific parts will be doled out to other vendors. Like, you know, they'll do all the rotoscoping and like some company in India for super cheap or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, it was kind of like pieced out a little bit.
So that kind of weighs into the part where you feel like you're not being that super creative if you're just like having to key out a bunch of shit, or if you're, you know, if it's like if the job is just so redundant and you feel like you could add so much more value maybe, but they're not allowing for that progression.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there is no real creativity. I mean, it's like, okay, make this thing do this, or like, you know, put an explosion here, or like put this thing on a screen, or like you don't have like any say in what it's going to be really.
Right.
It's just, you're kind of like just executing
right.
what needs to be done. And ironically, like there's more creativity I found now in like short term, like advertising and like commercials right. and marketing.
You said you met your business partner during this time, and that's who you now collaborate with on Warm and Fuzzy.
Yeah, so we were actually both hired at that company on the same day. My professor, who also worked at that company as a supervisor, he hired both of us on the same day.
That's nuts.
So that's when we met. We worked together for like a year and a half. And then, you know, we had always been kind of talking about starting our own thing, you know, because me and him were like doing most of the most of the VR stuff and most of the smaller jobs. Like we would do it almost by ourselves anyway.
Yeah, right. Might as well be outsourced.
If so we were always talking about starting our own shop, and then, you know, he left a little bit before me. He was kind of fed up, so he left a little bit before me, and then he convinced me to leave as well.
So it sounds like the convincing portion of it was, we could have way more freedom, probably more money, and have like an option to be actually creative in this sense where we could thrive off of what we kind of got into this for the first place for.
Yeah, you know? Exactly. I mean, and we're both artists, so, you know, we're not like business people.
Right.
We just wanted to do like cool stuff. And we saw like how poorly that company was run by the management that just like didn't know anything. And, you know,
right.
We thought we could do it like way more efficiently. And we already had like a lot of clients from freelancing. So,
right. So when you guys started, your main goal was VFX post house, or is it only VFX or motion and VR, or like how'd you guys kind of set up your company?
It was a little, I don't like, for some reason, I think the word like VFX has like a weird, like a bad connotation to it. Yeah. I don't know why. I'm curious. Yeah. Or just like a little, like it like lacks creativity a little bit. So, I mean, I think our goal was to set up like kind of like a design oriented, like motion animation studio.
Thanks for listening to this clip. Make sure to listen to the full interview, which is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Hit the subscribe button for more highlights and join our Black with No Cream private community for creators. Links in the description.